Welcome to the Light Tackle Angler Fishing Report. I'm Captain John Foweiler, and this is Captain David King.
How you doing, John?
Real good. What do you think about this week? Where should we start?
Well, maybe we could just kind of go offshore here. Maybe
Sounds
start
good.
off Fort Pierce today and talk a little bit. There was really good reports. Now that we're starting to get some really good weather, the water's starting to warm up. Of schools of bait and sardines at 12 buoy, which,
Wow, that's
you know, you've got the greenie pods starting to show up along the beach, on the south beach down towards the power plant. There was a few bait pods on the north beach. One day you can find them, the next day you can't. So I think what it is, you're having individual pods coming in and out right now. So we had good reports though. We had dolphins in our magic area, 150 to 210 instead of 120 to 200. So we had west winds for a couple of days. It might have pushed that water out a little bit farther offshore. But there's been a good dolphin bite of like the 8 to 15 pounders with a few 20 pounders.
Nice.
So we're maybe getting a few of the bigger fish starting to work our way down a little bit. A lot of the boats that were doing good were flipping live baits, going down the weed lines till they hook a fish, stopping and putting some live baits out. So they did pretty good doing that in that 150 area. Kingfish on the bar, the bottom fishing with the head boats has been real good. Really big triggerfish, big sea bass, a lot bigger than 5 and 6 pound triggerfish, which makes a nice fillet, you know. Triggerfish are really good eating. Some small grouper, a lot of throwback grouper, and the occasional cobia still showing up. So for some reason, you know, that water might be a little bit dirty on the bottom still because we're not getting those big grouper reports. Once again, they're getting the muttons, 3 to 5 pounds, which is a nice fish.
Nice fish.
A few mangroves and a few red snappers, but it just hasn't really turned on yet. So hopefully any day we'll have that little turn on thing.
This weekend, I think, finally we're going to have.
And we're having really good weather this weekend
I know,
too. So
exactly.
maybe we can scoot inshore and see what's going on.
All right. They said at the fishing center here in Fort Pierce that the snook fishing has been pretty good in the deeper water, in the Turning Basin, around the north and the south bridge. They said live pinfish seem to be about the best. They also been working some red-tailed hawks. The trout are starting to warm up to where they're going to be getting good. It was 66 degrees this morning on the flats, so it's
up 6 degrees from last week, wasn't it? What was it, 60?
Right.
High 50s?
I think it was 58 last week. So it's up, and as soon as it reaches that magical, it's like 68 degrees. I think the fish are just going to go crazy.
This weekend should be.
Yeah, that's true. They'll probably start hitting some top waters because they haven't eaten for a week or so because it's been so cold. So I think they're going to be real hungry. Let's see, Captain Charlie Connor on the inshore here in Fort Pierce. Again, he's our mainstay on the website. He said, try fishing the docks. There's a lot of fish around the docks. But right now, he said, most fish are up in the real skinny water. They're looking to warm up rather than to eat. So he says in 2 more days, he thinks that it's going to be just right.
Metabolism will be
Right.
good, right.
And the trout are still in 3 to 6 feet. They should be moving up, and there are a lot of black drums. Let's see. Who
Also,
else?
Mr. Shaw just stopped in a few minutes
that's
ago
right,
at
yeah.
the sub shop, and he was down by Bear Point, you know, which is a little bit south of Fort Pierce. He did really good on the trout. He said, once again, the bluefish.
Lots of blues.
The
yes.
mackerel were even a few in the river, then the ladyfish, which have been there. So when you see those ladyfish getting real active again, that means that water's getting up nice too. So
exactly.
he had good activities throwing soft baits. So he did pretty good. He didn't really have, he tried a bunch of different colors and caught fish on all different colors. So he didn't seem to have a preference. I think he said brown seemed to be the good one today. I don't know if that matched the watercolor, maybe that root beer color.
Right, it
the
might
way
be
the
a
water
little
is.
tannin in the water.
But so that was, I mean, that was just a matter of an hour ago he came in. So that's a good
Hot off
press
the
report.
press.
Literally, yeah. I mean, he just came in.
All right, to Brooks. This is kind of unusual. People that have been fishing the inlets have been catching a lot of bluefish, a lot of max, which is normal. But they're using real big sabikis is what they were saying. They're all completely sold out. And he says that instead of getting cut off, the hooks have been failing, and it's very unusual for them not to bite that light line off. But that's
Unless
what he
they're
says
hooking them
it's
in the
gone.
corner or something, maybe.
Maybe they're working it real fast. I don't know. But he said also in the inlet, if you fish, that was on like the ocean side, and then if you fish on the beach side, he said that there were a bunch of not trout, but flounder. You just work it real slow with, you know, whatever.
They've been around for a while, those flounder. That's nice.
They like that cold water.
Right.
You have more to add for the offshore?
Well, one of the boats that we talked to personally that was out did some bottom fishing up to the northeast up towards Bethel, which is north of Fort Pierce. They were noticing that they were marking a lot of bait and stuff. They were anchoring up. We had a north current, which you had everything right, but the fishing didn't really seem to turn on. So what that's probably meaning is that water might still be a little bit murky on the bottom from that weather that we had. And then once that sediment gets cleared up and settled down, we have no more ground swells, which, you know, the southeast wind this weekend, it ought to be red hot. The red snapper, everything ought to be turned on. So there should be some great reports next week of the fishing off the Fort Pierce area.
Why don't you give them your number?
Okay, if you want to call with a report, 772-979-6068, David King, or you can stop by the Subway store on the South Beach in Fort Pierce. We've got a book. You can write down what you've caught. Give us a report, stop in, we'll talk about fishing, or give us a buzz tonight.
That's right.
On our radio show from 6:30 to 7 on Wyra. It's 464-1400 with any comments, questions. You know, call us and every Friday night, 6:30 to 7.
6:30 to 7.
And we'll talk about fishing, or if you have any certain thing you'd like to talk about, please give us a buzz.
All right. Well, again, join us on lighttackleangler.com. Become a member. I think we're going to start having fun with it. We're getting up to about 50 members in like 2 months, so that I think is pretty good. Join us there, and I guess that's just about it for this report.
For this area, it's just get out there early this weekend, and there should be some great fishing.
Great fishing. Well, we thank you for joining us.
Thank you.